Hello guys and welcome to another ProfileTree Wix YouTube tutorial. So today I'll be going through how to create a perfect landing page for your Wix website. So yes, we'll go ahead and get started. So the first thing that you'll see, especially if you've got your Wix account set up, etc. This is the first page we'll be seeing when we're creating a website. So it'll ask us which platform we want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Wix. We're going to go ahead and leave editor X out for next time, as I want to focus mainly on this YouTube for beginners and just anyone who's intermediate with website design. So yes, we'll go ahead and click Wix. Now it'll give you another page asking what kind of website we're creating. So since this video is about the landing page, I'm just going to go ahead and search up a landing page. Okay, so as you can see, we've got a list of different options for the landing page, going from landing page all the way down to the online store coming soon. So you got a few different options there. Even if you type in landing without the page, you got a couple of options there as well. So what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and just click on landing page and we'll click on next. Of course you could choose to skip this part as well. So then we'll get another page asking what's the business name. And what's great, as you can see in the tagline there, is that we can change it anytime we want, especially if we create some mistakes like typos. So I'm going to go ahead and enter a business name. I'll just say Retrofitters. Okay, I'll go ahead and click next. Perfect. Okay, now we'll be brought to another screen here and it'll ask what we want to add to our website. Since I want to keep it basic, I'm just going to go ahead and keep it a one-page website, which is the landing page. But there are other options where you can add there, which is the chat box, online store, you got bookings, events, blog, a portfolio, pricing plans, forms, Instagram feed, video, and there should be a lot more, all the way down to bands in town. So it's up to yourself if you want to create maybe a landing page with about us and contact us, something like that, just like a 3-page sort of website, but nothing more to it. So I'm going to go ahead and click next. And another thing I want to point out as well with these landing pages, these would be great as well if you have a physical store and you don't want to own a online store, however you want to promote yourself online. So that's also great, especially if you're that sort of business that wants to create a landing page, you can go ahead and do so. And that's where you can promote some of your items that you sell in your physical store, and you can maybe give some contact information and just a little bit about your shop, or it doesn't have to be a shop, it could be like a event, or as I said, like it could be a business, so it's up to yourselves. Okay, so now we're in another screen here and it's asking us 3 different options here. So our first option, of course, is our Wix editor. We've also got the editor X, and we've also got Wix ADI. Now, what's the difference between these 3? So I wanted to leave out editor X as it is more of a not really complicated, but it's very complicated, especially if you're starting off with Wix. And we'll leave that for another video. I'll create another landing page based off editor X. And of course, we've got our Wix editor, and this is a lot more modifiable per se. As you can see, you can start with a blank canvas or designer built template, and you're able to customize everything. Not saying that the Wix ADI isn't the same. Wix ADI, the abbreviation for this one is Artificial Design Intelligence. And what this performs to do is it'll ask you a few questions just regarding what you want to have for your website. So what I want to do is I want to show off the Wix ADI version first before I go ahead and show you the Wix editor that we'll be doing today. So of course, based off your landing page as well, if you want to keep it simple, and of course if you're just starting off and you sort of just want to mess about with the layout of the Wix template, you can go ahead and click on the Wix ADI. This might be more preferred for yourself. So first thing it's going to ask you is we need to review and edit information. So we got the logo, we've got the name, email, address, phone, and social accounts. We can choose to add this now, or we can choose to add it on a later time. So that's all personal preference on what you want to do to that. I'm going to go ahead and skip this part. So of course, if we add all these information, say we didn't have a name, well, we wouldn't have a name for the site. You can also add a logo for the site. Everything that you put on this all will show up on the actual website itself. But I'm going to go ahead and choose skip. Okay, so then you'll be brought to another page which will ask you what theme you would like. Now you've got 6 different options here, which goes from clean all the way down to midnight. Now it won't all be the same for the websites that you'll be creating. You might get different options, so don't expect the same one that I'm getting right now. But if you do want to, you can go ahead and skip this part. But what we can do is we'll go ahead and click on one. I'm going to go ahead and click on the sophisticated one. And then what it'll do is, as you can see, it loads up 3 different options of the homepage design that we want. We've got one that says preparing to launch, we've got one that says almost open, and we've got one that says the final countdown. So there's a couple of different options there, as you could see. And of course, all you would need to do is click on the favorite design that you want, or again, you can go ahead and click on skip if you don't fancy any of the options there. We'll go ahead and click next, as I do like this one. And it'll even ask you if you want to add a contact form for your page at all, so that's preferably up to you. What you would mainly want to do is maybe show off your, especially if you have your business and stuff, you want to maybe show off your about yourself, as I said, your services, of course, a contact, so stuffs like that. Or you can go ahead and click skip. But that's one method of doing the landing page. I'm not going to show you how to create a landing page from scratch, so we'll go ahead back to the area that we were. Okay, so as you can see here, we'll go ahead and click on the Wix editor. So we'll start now. Okay, so as you can see here, there's a list of different options for a landing page website template. It's with the design wise, it's heaps better than the ADI. Just more the fact that it's the templates that they've made. As you can see, there's a bunch of different ones there. With the real estate landing page, they've got some coming soon landing page, couple there as you can see. Go to number 2. We've got a webinar landing page, something for a tech company. There's one there. So yes, there's a bunch of different ones as you can see. So you could choose to pick from them, or you can go ahead and, as you can see here on the top right, we've got the blank templates. So we'll go ahead and click on that. And then from the blank templates as well, there's a list of different options there as well, which is start from scratch, minimal layout, classic layout, all the way down to overlapping layout. But since we're going to focus on building this website from scratch, or this landing page from scratch, we're going to go ahead and pick the start from scratch. So we'll go ahead and edit that out. We'll just wait for this to load. Okay, so now that we're loaded into the screen, we're going to go ahead and continue building this landing page, or start with building this landing page. Sorry. So as you can see, we've got our 3 areas here, which is our header, our section, and our footer. So since we're just building a 1-page sort of website, what we want to do is we want to go to the site design, as you can see here. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and then I want to go ahead and customize the background. So we'll look for an image. We'll see if we can find something to do with along the lines of fashion. So we'll type that in. We'll see what's waiting for us. Okay, so there's a couple of options here. I'm gonna go ahead and pick one and then I'll get back with you here. Okay, so I've got one picked here. I'm gonna go ahead and exit off that. As you can see, it's one whole page, and if I go and preview that, it's one whole page and it doesn't move. So that's one way we could try to create this landing page. Another way is if we go to site design and we revert this back to a white theme, what we could do is we could just primarily focus on this add section part. So what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and go to the elements. And then what you want to do is you want to go ahead and click on the strip. And you can pick any of the colors here. I like to choose the classic ones. I'm going to go ahead and extend this. And a better way to find out what your measurements are, if you go onto tools here, click on toolbar. As you can see, whatever I have highlighted is heighted up to 400, and then if I check out this one, it's 500. So if I go to this one and I change that to 500, enter that, that'll be the same as the section itself. So we'll go ahead and exit that. That's a quick little tool there to help us out. And we can change the strip background. As you can see, if we search up the same one that we searched up earlier on, okay, which is this one here. As you can see, we've got our section and we've got our section and our footer. So that's one way to add some backgrounds to a landing page, and of course you can modify them as well by changing the settings, and you could change the color as well, and that determines the how opaque you want it to be or how dark you want it to be. So that's one way of doing it. But the method I want to stick to is using the background or the page background. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and delete this strip for the meantime. And then what I want to do is change that site design to a image and get back that one that I showed you, the street fashion one. Perfect. Exit off that. I'm happy with this, so I want to remove my footer. Same with the header, and then I'm going to add some elements onto this. I'm going to add a strip. Okay. Remove that, make sure that that's actually added onto this one. And then I want to add it to the same amount that is the section itself. Move that to 500. And then I'm going to add some layout to it, add columns, and then manage the columns again, add another column. Perfect. And then this one, what I want to do is I want to manage that layout a little bit. And I want to do, say, this one. I'm going to bring this to 20. Okay, that seems okay. So around 22, 21. Let's see, maybe we'll proportion that a little bit more like that. There we go. Happy enough with that spacing. Okay, now what I want to do is okay, we'll open that layout setting. We'll remove the header and footer. That's also one thing that you could do, by the way, guys. So if you go onto the pages and menu, go here, and then go to settings, and then you go to the layout, And then if you click on no header and footer, it'll get rid of the header and the footer itself. So now we've got a full screen to work with. So this should lay out, I'll use the tools to help me out here. Let's see, about 800. Okay, 660. Okay. We'll go ahead and preview this just so we can have a look. Okay, back to editor. We'll bring that up to 660 again, and same with this one. And then preview that, make sure that there's no scroller. Good. Back to the editor. So now that I've got my layout here, I've got 20, 50, and 30. I want to go ahead and start spacing these out. So I'm going to go ahead and change this column background to a black color. Have this gradient here as none. And then for this one, I want to manage this column background so that it's a different, the same sort of style. Maybe we could find a similar image, so I'm going to have a look and see what I can find. Let me see if I could change the site design a little bit here, as there might be something similar in terms of the actual background itself. Give me a second, folks, till I try to find the right layout I want. Okay, back again. I just had to change this up a little bit. So I've got a new sort of photo and then something close to that color. But anyway, I'm just going to work with it. So I want to add a couple of design bits onto this. I'm going to go to decorative. And I'm going to see if they have some vertical lines available. Okay, that they do. I'm going to place it there, and I'm going to go use the toolbar. And then get the height right on that one. So I think this one's at 660. Okay, so I'm going to have to manage that line at 660. Preview that. Okay, and then I want to go ahead and for that I want to manage it. Want that line color to be darkened a little bit, so let's do about 60. See what we got going there. Yeah, looks okay. But what we might want to do is maybe thicken that a little bit, so I'm just going to go to preview actually. Okay, so change that design a little bit. And for that, I'm actually going to keep it bold like that, but add a px of maybe about 10. Let's see what we have. Okay, something like that. So just like a little split. Okay, and then what I want to do is I want to get I would like to get the actual font in, so retro fitters. Okay, and I'm actually going to use the font space to go ahead and download a font, and I actually like this one, so we'll go for this one. Go ahead and click download. Okay, go back to Wix, and then what I want to do is I want to go to the text, and change the Helvetica bold. And if you look down here, you can see the upload fonts area. All you want to do is click on that, and then right above it, as you can see, I've already got 4 different fonts downloaded. I'm gonna go ahead and download this font, and just working at the background here. So just give me a moment. When you do have the folder up, make sure you extract that file within the download section. As you can see, that's it extracted. Or you can't actually see the screen, sorry. But I'll get it in here, just so you guys could see the font that I picked. Okay, we'll wait for that. Okay, so there it is. Now it's downloaded, and it even shows us our font. So I want to change that to that one. Okay, so happy days. Now what I want to do is increase that height, or increase the font size. So let's see, maybe 100. Could probably do more than that. Let's bring it up to 120. Okay, so I want to add that somewhere here. I'm gonna go ahead and edit this so that it is color white. Okay. And okay, so that's it bold. And then what I want to do is turn that to the other way. Okay. You can also make a vertical text if you want to. So now I'm gonna go ahead and drag it in here the best I can. Okay, something along the lines of like that. Preview this just to make sure there's not that much spacing under here. There we go. So it just requires a little bit of tinkering as well. Okay. So maybe something like that. And then let's see, we'll go back to the editor part. We could actually move this a little more like so. And what I could do with the columns is change the proportion sizes a little bit again. I can bring that down to around there. Let's see what other bold text we could try to use, maybe just to help us out a little bit here. Okay. Can be hard to determine as well. Okay, so it's just a little bit hard to get this aligned as I am having difficulties with the colors. But what we could do for this one, maybe we could add some effects for it. Let's see, maybe okay. Okay, so I just had to do a little bit of adjustment there. So from the column section here with the manage columns, I had to go ahead and adjust that to the left. With this background here, I had to change that column background so that it's flipped. Easy way to do that is by clicking on this little button here. You can adjust these as well, which is great. You can go ahead and crop and resize. And right over here, you can go ahead and flip them horizontally or vertically. So that's what's really good about that little process. And then once I preview it, this is what I'm getting so far. So far so good. It's looking okay. Gotta keep modifying it a little bit, of course. So we'll go ahead and do that. So I've just added a couple of details into this site, with a couple of lines there. So now what we want to do is maybe we want to add just another picture here. So I'm going to go ahead and just add an image using the add elements. So we'll go ahead and look for some images. I'll just click on this and I'll just search up fashion. And maybe I can find something else. Okay, so I've just added a image here, as you can see. So what I want to do now is I might just add a little button here on the bottom right corner. Just depends. Might need to adjust that image a little bit as well. I'll just leave that image there for now. What I want to do, I might make a little collage of images. So one there, and then I can have one here. Okay, what I could do are some little animations. I'll just see what I could do with this. Okay, I'll come back to that. Meantime, what I want to do is add a button. So I'm going to go ahead and do so. See what button's appropriate. I want to add that to the bottom right corner here. I'm going to do that by 150. By 150, I'm actually just going to get the toolbar to help me here. 150 by 150. Okay, that's perfect. Let me see, let me just exit out of that. And then what I want to do is I want to change the design of that to my text. Increase my font size to 40. Oh, not 40. 20. Maybe 18. Okay, something like that. And just have that saying click here. Let's see, we'll change the design layout. We should be able to have this within, let's see, just make the character spacing a little bit bigger. Increase my line spacing here to 2 rem. And then I want that to be obnoxiously big. That we'll just use a toolbar for that one. So 130 by 190. Okay, perfect. Okay, could live with that. Now I want to do like a cool little effect here, so I'm going to add a couple of decorative pieces. Let me see if I can find it. 1 second until I have a look for it here. So you need to find a container box. I'm just gonna go ahead and search it here. See if it loads. There you go. There's a container box. I'm gonna go ahead and drag one in. Just drag that down a little bit. Okay. And then what I want to do is give it a hover interaction. I'm going to see if I can try to do that with an image as well there actually. Function. Okay, let's see if we could try to bring it out to that size. So the size on this one, just double check that there, it is 283, which we'll change it to 80 by 320. And then try to change this. Okay, so it's a little bit impossible for that. We'll just change that to 421. And then we want to put a hover interaction on that one. We'll go ahead and get started. I want that to come. We'll keep that where it is for the minute. Okay, and then okay. Now what I want is boxes below to come down. Drag this up a little bit more. Bring this down. Actually just drag that all the way like that. And then for this one, go ahead and preview it just to make sure how it looks. Okay. It's a little bit skew width. I'm gonna go ahead and move that up. Like so. Okay. And then what I want to do for the background of this, I'm going to add some of those boxes, container boxes, and then align them to 280 by 421. We'll move this away for a meantime. I'm going to hover that down, like so. Just preview this, see how this goes. Well, actually, let's look at the layers. Okay. I'm not sure that's too drastic, so I'll just click on that container box again. Just move it so that it's not seen. So this requires just a lot of tweaking, just so you can get it right. So see this container box, just move that like that, and then I want that to try to look at the hover side of that for this little box here, because I don't want it to go down drastically. I'm gonna go ahead and copy another container box like that. Also gonna attach it to this. Go back to the tools, to the layer. And drag it in there. Give it a hover interaction as well. Then for the layers, I'm gonna bring that up. I'll be right back once I get it done. 1 wee second there. Okay, so I got my hover perfectly done there. So I'm just gonna add some paragraph and text. Okay, and we'll reduce the sizing of that a little bit. Should be able to reduce that, hopefully. Just have to refresh this as it wasn't playing ball there, so I'm gonna go ahead and change that. So let's see. Okay, so once you've got everything that you want ready to go, might just change that so that it is the light, or yes, I will probably actually just keep it the Helvetica. And I will just adjust this a little bit. Okay. Drag that up, drag this down, and then increase this to 15. Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to double check what the... Okay. And then the totals for this one. 421. So we'll bring that back down to 421. Should be able to. Okay, so I got that all fixed up again. So now when I go ahead and hover over this, it's got like a sort of font and text below it. So that sort of works out. And now I just need to create a clickable button. So I'm just going to go ahead and go back to this. I'm going to sort of adjust it so that it's the right size. 1 second. Sometimes Wix can get a little bit glitchy sometimes, so you just need to refresh it or control F5. So that's something to just be aware of. Okay, so we're nearly coming up to the end of the tutorial, and then I'm going to go ahead and continue this on another video where I create an entire website out of it. So let's see, I'll go ahead and readjust this. Okay, and like that. Okay. And then I'm just going to touch it up a little bit here. Just add a couple of horizontal lines. So the design's pretty much in your hands. You could just do whatever you'd like. Just design it how you would want to have your website. So okay, I'll probably just make these a little bit bolder. Right, 3. Okay. And maybe some text. We'll get a little heading here. Okay, so something like that. So you could design it how you want, as I said. Now we just want to add one more button. It would mainly be something to do with an about page. See if we could drag one over. And we'll just have that saying about us. Okay, so we'll just view this page, see how it looks. There we go. So we've got our little area here, as you could see. Just maybe need to organize and sort that part out. Preview that again. Okay. So that covers the bottom part. Happy enough with that. Got an about button, a click here button. So yeah, that sort of wraps it up a bit. That's how you sort of create a landing page. It's very, very minimal. You can link these as well. So that all depends on you if you want to create a 3-page website or a full website. I'm going to go ahead and continue this on another video where I go ahead and create a full clothing website. But hopefully this gives you an understanding on how you can create a landing page within Wix, and sort of just gives you a base to work out as well. Just use this design. Feel free to go ahead and copy some of the stuff that I did, or just like work with it. And yeah, so if you guys have any questions at all, just leave them in the comment section below. And yes, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much.